Okay, I have absolutely no idea if you're going to be able to hear this audio because it's raining and it's windy. Not as windy as it has been, but it's still windy. But I wanted to bring you outside and show you this area. So this is part of what I'm starting to call the central bed. It's the bit that I showed you last week where we have a path running up here and we have a path over here. And we actually had a day on Saturday when it wasn't too wet in the afternoon. So Hubs very kindly, from that you can take, I dragged him, came over and helped me dig this area for the nasty perennial weeds of the types you can see down there. And then we put a load of cardboard down and also a tarp on the top. We didn't just go with the tarp because we know from experience on his allotment that the blue tarp will allow enough light through for things to grow. And my plan is, this is I think 3 by 4 meters, and the plan is to turn this into our first beds. The weather is it's just bleeping awful. I'm not sure YouTube would allow me to say what I really think of the weather so far in 2026. It's bloody awful. So anyway, that is now down, and today I'm going to concentrate inside the greenhouse. Hang on. Oh, it's there. Hubs came round the back round here on Saturday and was having a look through all of this stuff and seeing what was there that was usable, what wasn't, etc. And he found a table. And I thought he'd left it up here, which is where it was on Saturday, and I thought somebody nicked it, but they haven't. He's moved it in front of the caravan door to keep that shut. I think this is a good find. It seems really solid, a little bit slimy, needs a clean, but yeah, that's going to be a nice table to use come the summer. Right, I'm going to get in out of this frankly grotty rain and get some digging done in the beds in here. I've had a problem already today with the door to the greenhouse shed. The lock that was on here, I'm going to need to use my other hand to open that, had seized. So while we watch me starting to dig away in search of various weed roots that might be lurking in the soil, I'd like to mention that last weekend I went to my first potato day, which was a lot more fun than it sounds to the uninitiated. So we visited a potato day that was run by So Northern last weekend down in Norton near Stockton-on-Tees. It was my first time at a potato day, and it's basically a place where you can go as a gardener or an allotmentier, and you can buy various different seed potatoes. They also had a seed swap, and there was refreshments such as chocolate cake and carrot cake and things like that, and then you could sit and chat to people if you were so inclined. We had the good fortune to meet the wonderful Kirsty from Heart's Humble Homestead here on YouTube, along with her father, and they were absolutely fantastic, so friendly, and they had lots of great advice. The rest of the week was pretty much filled up with going and getting stuff for the allotments ready to use when the weather improves, such as some pallet collars, things like that. A new door for the potting shed on my allotment, but it was really difficult to actually get onto the allotment because the weather itself was just so... I don't want to go into it. I am so fed up of this weather. Expecting some of these little effers to come through. This bit here is directly opposite where there is a big clump outside, and that needs seeing to. So I was expecting to have a problem. Bloody hell, look at the size of this. Look at the size of that fecker. Can you see that? Look. One root. Hate these things. Right, let's see what else we can do to get it out. Glass. I knew this was going to be a war of attrition. The thing is, I really don't want to resort to pesticides if I can avoid it, and part of that is related in, I'm hoping you can hear me okay, I'm raising my voice a little bit in the hopes that you can. Part of that is related to why I want the allotment in the first place, and that is that in recent years, my whole life I've had digestive issues, right? It's been my whole life. I first remember putting it together when I was, well, I would have been 3, and I know that because a relative who passed away when I was 3 is in the memory. And I'll do this bit as well. Of recent years, they have got substantially worse, my digestive issues. And the only thing in the past that I've ever found which actually helps is to cut out processed foods and non-organic food as much as possible. Now, it's practically impossible to completely cut that stuff out of your diet, but you can cut out as much as possible. And in the past, that's when things have flared, that's been the only thing that's worked. Now, I'm not trying to do some salt path BS on you here. I'm not saying, people would all be healthy if they just ate organically. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying it's something that works for me. It does not cure me at all, but it does help me control my symptoms. And organic food, is getting harder to find. Now that might be due to the fact that I'm in a different part of the country to where I was, and might be due to the current economic climate, because let's be honest, who the hell can afford luxuries like organic food if you don't have to, basically. And if stuff isn't selling well, the supermarkets and the shops will simply put something else on the shelves. I'm going to get the little hand digger thing. Hang on. So the supermarket's going to stock what's selling, is the bottom line. And if organic food is not selling in volume, which I'd be surprised if it is in the current economic climate, you are not going to, they're not going to stock it, is the bottom line. They're not going to stock it in any reasonable amounts, and that is exactly what I'm finding. So when they are stocking stuff, I am going to get nettled by that bugger, aren't I? Let's get you out. Come on. Where are you coming in? I'm kind of hoping it's just growing through the gap, but there was a clump here. There was a clump here when I cleared it out before, so I know that there is roots here. Let's see how much we can get out. How that is. So one of the reasons that I actually want an allotment is to try and cut down on the amount of artificial, there's a root there. Cool, look at the size of that one. Let's get this out of the way as well. It's to cut down on the amount of crap that I'm putting into my body. Hubs, he can eat whatever he wants. Constitution like an ox. If he doesn't eat something, it's because he doesn't like it. Me, completely different story. So the idea is to try and grow as organically as possible. Now, I am not saying I am never going to use any pesticides, because at the end of the day, never say never and all that, but what I can do is cut down on it. Plus, good exercise, and we'll save money. A lot of woody stuff here. I'm going to move this. Don't know what that is. Whatever this is, I mean, I'm guessing it's a nettle. It's really deep down. So yeah, I'm wanting to do as much organic, non-pesticide growing as I can, which of course is part and parcel. I have to dig down there. Give us a sec. Hang on, I've got to get up. Ah! No, I have to come around the other side. Alright, let's see what we got there. Now, I can't say that it's going to be completely organic, because the hell? woody something. I don't know what's been here. I wonder if they've had a fruit tree or a grapevine or something. I don't know. I mean, obviously I can't say, oh, you know, my plot is completely organic, because I don't know what's been grown here previously. Oh well. And I don't know what is still in the soil from previous occupants. Let's see what I've got here. But all I can do is try and go organic from now on as much as possible, which means oh, that didn't work. I thought that was going to come out. This feels like there's brick here. There is. That's brick. What's going on? Ugh. That is brick. And a cigarette butt. Ooh, definitely don't want that in my beds. There's a brick floor here. That's definitely brick. Is it a rogue brick? No, there's another bit there. Right. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. This is not as good as what I'd hoped. No, that's... Oh, I think... These are coming in from outside, definitely. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I don't know the best way to deal with those. I don't know. Can anybody let me know how you would dig that out? It's obviously rooted on that side. It's rooted on that side. And it's rooted here. I don't know what else to do. I mean, there's bricks here. They're here for a reason. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Advice. Advice, please. I have to say, people have been outrageously generous in there with their advice, both in the comments here. Oh, where's that going? Where are you going, little fecker? People have been, there we go, incredibly generous with their advice, both on this channel and in Facebook allotment groups. So any advice on that, let me know. I will leave it uncovered for now, and I'm going to go back to dealing with this end. Okay, I've dug a load out, and there's a load more that I can't dig out, or I'm struggling to dig out. I'm going to leave it for now, and I would like to ask, what would you do with these? Because those roots are going a long way down. Would you keep digging? Would you dig so far? And am I correct that it is only the tap roots that I really need to worry about, and not the little fibrous roots? This is where my inexperience comes in. Help, help, please. Please, 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 kind, wonderful people on the other side of computer connections. What would you do? What would you suggest?